Hello everyone, MarkystalVR here. It's been a while since I made another video, and I wanted to let you guys know what's been going on lately. So this will be an update video for January 28th, 2018. The first topic to get out of the way is that I've already started the work on Can We Make SAO Online 2018. The video should be finished up sometime before March. I'll let everyone know via tweets in advance so you can know when to expect it exactly. Please look forward to that in the near future. The second topic on today's agenda are my current day-to-day activities. I keep myself pretty busy right now since I'm trying to really pick up the pace with all my studies, all my virtual reality investigations, and in general just trying to get things done much better and more quickly. So I've been really regimenting my day in order to take the best advantage of the time I have in order to really start progressing forward. I feel that I haven't been doing that enough over these past few years, and now 4 years have flown by, and I don't really feel that I'm that much further ahead right now than I could have been if I'd really dedicated myself back in 2014. I apologize for any delays that I've been causing, and I really hope that I can start providing more to this community and towards furthering virtual reality than I have in these past few years. The second topic on today's agenda are my day-to-day activities. I sincerely feel that I haven't been doing enough these past few years to truly manage to improve myself and to push the virtual reality medium forward in any meaningful capacity. I don't know whether it's the transition from school life to the real world, but at some point along the line I feel that I haven't really managed to get myself going as much as I used to be able to. So I want to apologize for that in advance and let you all know that I'm doing the very best I can to try to correct the course and really push myself to the very limits. At this point in time, my days are very regimented, and I have every single aspect of my day more or less blocked into 15-minute time periods. At this point, I'd say my mornings mostly consist of studying before I head off to school, after which I get back home and focus on my health via either exercise or making sure I get some healthy, well-balanced meals. My work life is still more or less the same, so I enter at roughly the same time every day and leave roughly the same time every day, with the end of my day mostly consisting of reviewing my past notes and trying to get as much of the information I did documented so I can kind of keep track of what's been going on and how I'm progressing every single day. It's been working out pretty well, as the tactic actually managed to help me improve my health somewhat. Somebody actually remarked in a previous video that I seem to have lost a bit of weight, and I'm actually kind of glad it was noticed. I managed to lose 52 pounds between the period of August to December, so right now I weigh about 165 pounds. I fluctuate between 1 to 5 pounds or so every single day, but that's relatively normal and I can usually go up or down, really just based on adjusting small little bits of my diet here and there. So I'm glad to say I've managed to get myself down from the range of obesity down into a more healthy BMI, although the work's not done and I still have quite a bit to get done before I really feel that I have a body that'll be best conducive to the kind of activities I want to do within virtual reality and towards keeping myself on the top of my game. Since I have been studying, I want to give you guys a quick idea of what I've been doing for the past week or so, as well as what the past month has looked like, since I was actually intending to do these videos quite a while now, but I didn't really have the time since the transition period between starting up all the various different studies I've been doing, and this year just plain old getting kicked off and school beginning and all that didn't really give me opportunity. But now that things are starting to settle down, I want to give you guys some insight. For the past week or so, the topics at hand have been blueprint essentials in the video section of the Unreal Engine documentation. I've been really trying to crack down on my knowledge on Unreal, and really going back to the basics is one of the best ways in order to know where you're at and what you need to improve on. So I went all the way to the very bare essentials, covering the UI, going into the very nature of what a blueprint is, accessing every single factor inside of a blueprint, creating functions, variables, some stuff that for all intents and purposes is absolutely elementary. It'd be the rough equivalent of telling somebody to go study addition and subtraction again after they're in high school or college. But I'm doing this to myself in order to absolutely make sure that there's no fundamental that I've left untouched, because I really feel that one of my problems in terms of education and learning is that I tend to skip ahead whenever I get bored, and when I do that, I end up missing on certain key details and end up having to retread ground and go back in order to see what I missed. I want to avoid doing that with Unreal Engine going forward, so I'm taking the time to learn everything I can now before I head back in to try to create Dreams of Salvation. The topics that I've been going over in that Blueprint Essentials video have ranged from things like creating arrays, doing variables, the flow execution of things, creating macros and all those other kind of topics, more or less. I've been more or less keeping everything documented in a book right here. It's been relatively filled up. It's kind of at the, let's see, I think it's 100, yeah, 196th page right now, so the rest of this is, yeah, kind of full. Good thing I have a few notebooks here in the back to replace that once it's all filled up. But yeah, I've been doing studies on that. It was really interesting going over the beginning things and just seeing the differences between Unity and Unreal present themselves when you go term by term and how they analyze everything, ranging from things like the the viewport, the My Blueprints panel and the blueprint editor, the details panel, the content browser, the world outliner. There are a lot of things that are basically analogous to things inside of Unity that I didn't really know the proper terms for, and now that I've studied them, I'm kind of glad that I do, since there are some small differences in quality of life improvements that have appeared that have dramatically improved my ability to use the engine, and I feel will really help me going forward. In terms of school, the topics at hand aren't really that great, since it really is just the first week or so. I'm a university student, so school doesn't really start around September, October, that kind of period, and even if it does, it's usually a segmented semester, so the topics I'm going over right now don't really have much to do with what I was doing earlier. So school only just started up a week or so ago, and the only things that I've really been going over are the area between two curves, something that we covered last semester at the very end in my calculus class. And in physics, it's 101 level, so really elementary stuff, or relating velocity, acceleration, and position on a 2D plane. So it's not too complicated, but it is still worth noting, and some of this mathematics will show up eventually when I do my Unreal Engine stuff, although most of the UE stuff that I've been doing tends to deal with 3D vectors rather than 2D vectors. So you can imagine how more boring the 2D vector stuff kind of feels, but I'm making sure I cover it anyway, just can't leave any stones unturned. Overall, in terms of studies, I'm just trying to keep myself on top of things, though. I expect that classes will be going much more smoothly this semester since I'm taking the time to study on a very regular basis. And in terms of Unreal Engine, at this point, I see myself finishing up the blueprints section overall, at the very least the stuff that I've outlined that I really want to study, sometime in the middle of February. And once I finish that up, my intention is to switch to C++. I'm still trying to plan out exactly how I'm going to get that studying done, because C++ is a bit more complicated of a subject, and the way Unreal Engine handles C++ is very different from how regular C++ is coded. So I'm very much considering doing 2 different series of C++ studying simultaneously, so I can get the best of both grounds, whereby I use Unreal Engine as a practical study ground for C++, but at the same time I'm going the essential route on C++ as well in other tutorials in order to make sure that I know some of the fundamental stuff that the UE wrapper is hiding from view and making easier, such as dealing with pointers, memory management, garbage collection, and things such as that. I already know a few things here and there, but I really do think that this review will be very helpful, and I even have a C++ class scheduled in university sometime next semester that I basically have to take, so it should be pretty good to get a quick head start on that before it ends up coming up on me in school. Once I finish up C++, my intention is to continue programming in order to keep my skills fresh, but also to learn other languages so that I can continue to improve myself, ranging from things like JavaScript, SQL, to regular old C, and even assembly if the time allows it. But for the most part, it's going to be a matter of using C++ on a regular basis in game development in order to improve. On the note of game development, my current plans are still to continue work on Dreams of Salvation once I finished up my Unreal Engine studies. I feel that my progress wasn't as much as I would have liked in 2017 just because I didn't have a firm foundation on what I wanted to do with it very well. Right now, my intention is to go back to the basics in every single area I can. I feel that I might have eaten more than I could chew way too soon, and it is my intention to try to rectify that by going back to the foundations and working things down from the ground up. As such, Dreams of Salvation will no longer be a virtual reality-based product. I intend to wait for virtual reality to mature as a medium and to actually contribute something on the hardware side of things in order to really start putting my development effort behind virtual reality. I just feel that while the current version of virtual reality that we have is very much impressive, it isn't the kind of virtual reality I myself want to invest too much time into, and in fact I'm more comfortable just letting others take care of that work, since I feel that they've been doing a very good job with things such as VR chat and all the various other projects that have been going on online that you can just see on things like the Oculus Reddit or the Vive Reddit. So yeah, definitely have a look at the work that's going on out there. There's some pretty cool stuff, but I'm going to be going back to the dunce corner and working on my regular games for a little while now. I suppose the last topic to discuss is the virtual reality rig. Between the amount of software studying and regular school studying that I'm going to have to do, I'm putting the virtual reality rig on hold for a while, since, quite frankly, I also don't have the money in order to actually afford buying all the parts that I'll need, and even if I did have the money, I'm not sure that my current engineering knowledge is sufficient enough to really adequately take advantage of any of the parts I receive. As such, I'm going to wait till around 2019 or 2020 before I properly begin working on the project again, at the very least in a hardware capacity. I'm always keeping an eye out for new software or ideas that I could implement into the system, so don't worry, I'm not completely dropping virtual reality or anything like that. I'm definitely still keeping it at the forefront, but before I keep going into virtual reality, I need to make sure that I myself am capable enough of handling that, and that's what I feel that I just haven't been doing well enough for these past few years. In my desire to try to get ahead, I've ironically put myself behind. So let me have the time to just push myself back up to where I should be in order to become somebody who can adequately take advantage of the opportunities before us and really start pushing things forward. I again have to apologize for that error, since I really do feel that if I'd been more focused and just taken the time to go through things one step at a time, I would have done better. But what's done is done, and I just have to keep on going forward now. I'm going to do it properly, one baby turtle step at a time. Thank you very much everyone for watching this video. I know I don't post as frequently as I used to, and I really wish I could keep things up, but it's kind of difficult between all the school, studying, and all that other stuff. I've been considering doing a more weekly video segment, whereby I go over what I've been learning for the past week, to give you guys an idea where I'm sitting at and more or less where I'm heading towards on a more regular basis. Let me know down below in the comments section whether or not that's something you'd be interested in. We'd probably be going over things such as integrals, UE4's C++ implementation, as well as the API, as well as things in physics, such as dealing with the laws of motion, and the other elementary topics. That might not be much for any of you out there who are probably either more advanced or that are a lower level, but if you're more or less where I'm at, it could help as a good way to kind of keep you on focus, and maybe even serve as a bit of review for you. So I hope that you can find some benefit from that kind of content. Well then everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. This has been MarkystalVR, logging out.